So once again, dear students, I am regaining this video. This is the part 3 of the same chapter that we were continuing. The name of the chapter being Discovering Truth, the saga continues. So in the third part, so we already have first part, which is introduction, second part, which is a little bit of your text, okay, and in the third part also you are going to read the text. So an angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. So now coming to the actually, now we have entered the philosophical and that entertaining part of this text. So some of you have watched the movies regarding Egyptian mummies, and so far as you have seen that particular scene when the hero or that explorer or that archaeologist or that discoverer, whoever is opening up a cave, okay, he is opening a cave either by some device or by solving some kind of puzzle, and after opening that cave, okay, wind blows away from that cave, okay, a huge wind which has a kind of ghostly sound, okay, it's a ghostly sound, and some dust also uh, comes out or rushes out of that entrance of that cave. So same thing happened here also. Now this have both some mystical thoughts, okay, that we love to hear. Actually, we enjoy those mysteries, that after opening up the cave, a gust of wind comes out of that cave, and after entering that inside that cave, some kind of sounds are also coming from that cave, okay. So these are all some kind of mysterious filmmaking things, but in reality it may be that since a mummy is kept inside, okay, so it is meant to be decomposed, and the air pressure inside increases or decreases, which there is a pressure difference between the outside air and the inside air. So as soon as the cave is opened, as soon as there is a opening in the cave, some wind will probably rush inside that cave, or it will get out of that cave. So this is the fact actually. Now, so next what happened, as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egyptian cemetery. A cemetery means where the dead people are kept, where the dead are buried, is called cemetery. Okay, and here, so King Tut is being taken out of that cave, uh, and that cemetery, that place is known as the Valley of Kings. Why? Because all those Egyptian kings were actually mummified and kept there. Dark bellied clouds had scudded across the desert sky all day, and now were veiling the stars in cascade gray. So, on that day, it happened to be a coincidence that on the day when the mummy of Tutankhamun was taken out of that cave, of that particular cemetery, on that day, dark clouds covered the sky, and it was the time 6 p.m. on 5th of January 2005. So, once again, so this mummy was discovered in 1922, that inside there is a mummy which is supposed to be the mummy of Tutankhamun. Now after 80 years, as A.R. Williams in this particular text says, in 2005 on 5th of January, the dead body of, or the mummy of Tutankhamun is taken out of that cave. The world's most famous mummy glided headfirst into a CT scanner brought here to probe the lingering medical mysteries of this little understood young ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. So, this what happened then? As soon as they took out the mummy, they rushed that mummy to the CT scan machine, and they scanned it to find out, to investigate, okay, to discover what is the cause of the death of this young ruler who died more than 3300 years ago. Now there are some word meanings also. Stirred means move or cause to move slightly. Ghostly means unnatural, unreal. Resting place means grave here. Cemetery means a large burial ground where the dead are buried. Dark-bellied cloud. Dark-bellied means dark in color. Scudded across means which is moving quickly across the sky. So dark clouds were rushing across the sky, crossing over the sky. Veiling means covering. Casket, a small ornamental box or chest for holding jewels, letters, or other valued objects. So casket gray means a grey colored cloud covered all along the sky. It appeared as if we have entered into a casket. Glided means continuous in motion, gliding motion, slippery motion. Probe means to investigate, to find out. Lingering means long lasting. Now, to summarize again, a fast, strange, and unnatural wind was blowing as King Tutankhamun's body was taken from his grave, called the Valley of Kings. So, mark it again. Valley of Kings. The short question often comes that what is that the place called where the ancient Egyptian mummy of Tutankhamun was discovered? Okay, so it is called the Valley of the Kings. An ancient Egyptian cemetery. The location of the Valley of the Kings is given in the image. Okay, so you will find it in your textbook. Dark clouds moved quickly across the desert all day long, and later they covered the stars. On January 5, 2005, at 6 p.m., King Tut's mummy, which is the world's most famous mummy, was placed in CT scanner to investigate the mystery behind his death, which had occurred more than 3,300 years ago. Now next, all afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped rock-cut tomb, some 26 feet underground, to pay their respects. So, lots of people, tourists all along has arrived, okay, and they have come to visit the mummy of Tutankhamun, where it is placed. It is there's a tomb. Tomb means a rock slab kind of thing, okay. I will show you if a picture is available. Tomb, you can see it. Tomb is like this. In Greek, it is a repository, remains of the dead. It is generally unstructurally enclosed interment space or burial chamber. Okay, so this is a tomb. Tomb means where now that is 26 feet underground to pay their. So people came there and they were paying their respects. They gazed at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber. Okay, murals means, I will show you again. Murals means pictures that are drawn, a piece of work, artwork painted or applied directly on a wall. Okay, so a picture painted in the wall. So this inside that burial chamber, it's quite natural that they are having painted pictures of the burial chamber and peered at its gilded face. And people also looked at King Tutankhamun's, Prince Tutankhamun's gilded face. Gilded face means covered face. Gilded means covered in gold actually here. Okay, covered with thin sheet of gold plating. So the face of King Tutankhamun was covered in a thin sheet of gold. Why? To keep the structure of the face intact, because you know that the mummy will be drying up and the beauty of the face will be vanished. So but if a gold plate is set up in a proper order upon the face, it will like a mask, it will be there keeping the shape of the face intact. The most striking feature of his mummy shaped outer coffin lid, and this gilded face is the most striking feature, means the most interesting or the most prominent feature of that mummy shaped outer coffin lid. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper, others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tutan's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the pharaoh's curse, death, or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him was really true. So now, as you have seen in most of the mummy movies, okay, that the mummy who is kept there is actually a cursed thing, okay, and anyone who moves that mummy is bound to die, or something mishap will happen with his life. Okay, so here also people believe that if Tutankhamun's mummy is moved from his resting place, maybe because of the curse, because of some curse or because of some misfortune, they might face death or punishment or something like that. Okay, so I'm again summarizing this chapter after just reading. Descended means moved or gathered. Cramped means very small to fit into. Rock cut means made in a rock by cutting it. Gazed means to look in surprise or in admiration. Murals, a painting or other artwork executed directly on the wall. Gilded means covered with thin sheet or coating of gold. Striking means prominent. Whisper means to speak in a low voice. Pondering means to think. Okay, to think something carefully, concentratedly. All afternoon, so I'm summarizing this part again that I have read already. Okay, so here again, all afternoon tourists visited the 26 feet deep underground rock cut tomb to pay respect to the king. Many people stuffed into the small tomb and looked in admiration at the murals on the walls of the chamber, and took a look at the face of Tut that had been painted with gold. While visitors read the guidebooks in a hushed tone, some stood silently wondering about his untimely death in his teen years. They might also be wondering if the curse of the Pharaoh, which leads to the descent of misfortune upon the person who disturbs him, is true. So looking forward to the fourth video. Okay, so I'm ending this video again here, and I will give you the fourth video for the next part. Okay.